lucky to have Ms. Thanalakshmi, which will be our speaker for this section. Let me introduce our speaker. Our speaker, Ms. Thanalakshmi, is a lecturer from Department of Business and Public Administration of Faculty of Business and Finance, which is located at Utah Kampa campus. She is obtained her Master of Business Administration at University Utara, Malaysia, with a professional qualification grade ICSA, which is Institute of Chartered Secretary and Administration. The area of expertise for Ms. Thanalakshmi is Company Secretary, Corporate Governance, and Human Resources Management. All right, now let's welcome our speaker.
Thank you, Jolene. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me for this hour. All right, in order for me to start this thing, I'll share my slides with you. It's a very short briefing though, how to be a company secretary in Malaysia. Right, basically I'm going to go into 5 small areas and so talk about this thing, okay? In Malaysia, if you want to be, if you're going to have a business in Malaysia, be it Sendirian Berhad or a public listed company, we need to appoint a company secretary to handle all these compliance matters. All right, these compliance matters require company secretaries to be hired, and on top of it, the company secretary has to be appointed by the board of directors within a month from the date of incorporation, meaning that the day they start the company. All right. So who is a company secretary? All right. So basically, this is a person who works in a company. And this person is supposed to be, it can be a woman or man. Whenever we hear the word company secretary, everybody thinks it's a woman. All right? In actual case, when you go for conferences and all that, I see more men than a woman being company secretaries here. So mandatory to hire a company secretary, or if you don't hire a company secretary, the company may hire the services of a corporate firm to become their company secretary. So it's mandatory, okay? So this person has to be licensed or registered with the CCM. CCM is under the Ministry of Domestic Trade, Cooperative, and also Consumerism. All right, so previously this commission was known as ROC, Registrar of Companies. We still do address this as a registrar and so on. So a company secretary is a professional person whose role in a corporate setup is to provide advisory, legal advisory pertaining to compliance, paperwork regarding to company, and the statutory documents, and also the procedural matters and so on. All right. So company secretaries also play an important role as a communicating channel between the stakeholders, especially the shareholders and the board of directors, and accountable. They are accountable to an accurate delivery of information about the company to SSM and also to the public and so on. Why do I say timely manner? SSM requires, the Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia requires certain documents to be submitted to them according to the time frame set up in the system and so on. All right, so this is why this is very important. Otherwise, there will be penalties and so on for not compliance. All right. So if you're a public listed company, besides SSM, you also have to answer to Securities Commission Malaysia, Bursa Malaysia, and also certain other related regulatory bodies and so on. All right. So let's move on now. What does a company secretary do? So we look into. We also understand that the company secretary is an officer of the company who is appointed by the board. All right, and then their role has evolved over the years. I would say when I studied to become a company secretary and now, although I'm not practicing, things like governance, legislation and integrity has crept in over the 10 years, and also the use of information technology. Technology is advanced. Therefore, we do not go to Securities Commission or Bursa to do our work. It's all linked, and also SSM is all linked via our intranet and portals and so on. And you are supposed to be fast. I mean, the whole role of technology is to make things faster. all right? And they expect things, information to be traveling much faster than those days, all right? So it is evolved. It made the position of the company secretary even more, to be more versatile, and regularly review the board procedures and so on and so forth. All right, so let's look into the roles and the duties of a company secretary. So basically what they do in a company, they have to update the company's statutory information. All right, like I said just now, when there are changes in boards, like you're going to hire a new director, you need to follow the rules pertaining to the director's qualification. Company secretaries are supposed to view this information before they actually admit or appoint, advise the board about the director's qualifications, and also disqualifications, also appointments, resignation, and also that. Okay, so when you are going to hire a new company director in the company, you need to inform SSM also about this appointment or removal of this director and so on. And annually, we also have this thing, lodging of annual compliance and returns requirement by SSM. So this is updating the company's statutory information to SSM. All right, things like your changes in the board, changes in the company address, changes in the company name. No, this all has to follow, and this have to be done by the company secretary. See, adoption and alteration and also revocation of constitution. Constitution is a new thing introduced in the Companies Act since 2016. Prior to that, we all know that it is called a memorandum and Articles of Association, M&A. All right, so when this thing came on, it's the same thing like before. Any changes or adopting certain things in the Constitution has to be reported to SSM, okay? Issues and about shares, about splitting them, or new issues or transfers of shares are also supposed to be updated in their registers. Things like, how to say, this shareholdings by directors, okay? If you have a certain amount of shares to be reported by them, okay? Any other changes according to SSM also has to be updated to the SSM accordingly, all right? Besides that, main duties of company secretary is handling a company's board, general and also extraordinary general meetings of the company. Some people consider this as a main role because the company secretary is supposed to be well adverse about the procedures of meeting. All right, arranging the meeting according to timely manner, and then also providing general advice to the directors about the meeting procedures. All right, booking and also meeting rooms. Not although this is very trivial, but then they see also they have to be done by them and so on. Right. So attending and taking minutes of the meeting and also maintaining minutes book. This is also one of the main duties, all right? So following upon these decisions made in the board meetings or the annual meetings or the EGMs has to be followed up, and also look for the right writings of minutes, no? Okay, you're supposed to follow whatever been said. So playing advisory role to the chairman and also the board of directors about the meeting procedures, certifying copies of minutes, and also ensuring that correct meeting procedures are followed. All right, so besides that, the company secretary also has to have this timely reminders about this to directors about how the compliance has to be done in the company, especially like the EGM or AGM has to be done by 18 months. You know, when we had the pandemic and all that, there were new laws were introduced to companies about having meetings and so on. So companies secretaries were the ones who were advising the directors and the board of directors and also the chairman about these new rules and so on. All right. Compliance with company constitution, I mentioned earlier, how you incorporate or you merge or any amendments according to the procedures and so on. Besides that, also maintaining share registration and safe custody of documents like share certificates, the company seal. All right, your registers are supposed to be kept in a safe place. Not registers are evidence, and this is required by SSM also. So, okay. Besides that, we also have to do this coordination role. Coordination role meaning that the company secretary maintains constant communication with the and acts as a link between the company and the shareholders through circular resolutions. We don't have meetings all the time, but then we have to pass these circular resolutions and issue documents regarding the rights issue or any other pertaining to the shares and so on. And also they have to monitor changes, all right, monitor changes within the register of members to identify potential takeover bids or any inquiries about substantial shareholdings and so on. All right, so generally they have to look into the shareholding too. All right, so other matters, we look into the acting as an officer of the company. Yeah, when we say acting as a officer, we say the company secretary is a primary point of contact between shareholders and also directors, and between companies and also SSM. You may have interest in buying company shares or some kind of mergers or joint ventures and so on. So these are the people, the company secretaries are supposed to go into the field, look into informations and to direct or advise the board about this and so on. So a key role in the event of corporate exercises like mergers and acquisition, or even winding up. All right, the secretaries are there to advise them about the law, about winding up and so on, and the necessary compliance and so on. Okay. Also to see into the effectiveness of documentation, ensuring due diligence disclosures, timely disclosures. Bursa requires timely disclosures. Okay, you can't release sensitive information about insider tradings and so on. This is a very sensitive area where penalties are there. Penalties are there if there's a hiccup in doing these duties and so on. All right, advising corporate governance on matters on corporate governance. Okay, keeping abreast. The company secretary has to keep abreast the current trend of information, latest development of company securities laws, and also always advise the board on proper corporate governance matters. Okay, assist directors with respect to their duties and responsibilities, and also compliance with the company and securities laws, like I told you about Bursa's listing requirements and so on. All right, so these are among the basic role and requirements that we look into. Okay, so who can be a company secretary then? All right, who can be a company secretary? What are your qualifications required? These are information that I extracted from SSM's website and also some textbook. All right, so according to Section 235 of CA 2016, the requirement of company secretary shall be he's a natural person. Okay, it has to be a person and of the legal age of 18 years and above. Okay, I have not seen a company secretary who's at 18 years old. Okay, so a Malaysian citizen who's residing in Malaysia, and a member of the professional bodies nominated by the ministry, and under Schedule 4, or other qualifications are also taken into consideration. So the professional bodies nominated by Ministry of Domestic Trade is that MACS, is the Malaysian Association of Company Secretaries. All right, this is our Malaysian body, and the Malaysian Institute of Chartered Secretaries and also Administrators. We call it MAISA. I'm a graduate from MAISA. Okay, so the Malaysian Institute of Certified Public Accountants. If you are certified accountant, then you can also become a company secretary. The Malaysian Bar members, the Malaysian Institute of Accountants, and also the Law Societies of Sabah and Sarawak. Okay, so if you do not have the professional qualifications, then you can also go in with the minimum qualification. The minimum qualification required for everyone is the SPM and its equivalent with the credit in Bahasa or English. All right. So if you don't have the professional certifications, then you may have worked as a company secretarial assistant for some time. So here they say here that if you have worked for minimum 5 working years as in the field of company secretary, you're handling some company secretarial matters in your company, or you are hired as one of the assistants in the corporate services firm when you handle corporate services matters for companies and so on. So and also holders of certificates or diploma holders or degree in the field, working in the field of the company law and so on. So you can apply through SSM, their portals and so on. And applicant is required to have these experiences and specified period based on the table. And there would be a written test and also interview. all right, written test and an interview. The applicant have to sit for a written test and also attend an interview when they're called by the registrar, okay? And besides all this, you have to maintain your membership in the professional organizations and also to register yourself, right, if you want to become a company secretary. In my case, I'm only a grad. I didn't apply for the associateship to practice the certificate, all right? I'm only teaching the paper, all right? I'm not actually a company secretary in any firms and so on. Therefore, I'm not registered. I don't have the associateship yet. I didn't apply because don't have the exposure in the field yet, right? So if you have the exposure, you need to register in the SSM's e-secretary portal and naming the company that you're going to be appointed company secretary and so on. All right, this is the summarized view of the 235 and 241 and so on, okay? Yep, a natural person, no schedule 4. I told you earlier about natural person and so on. All right, guys, moving on, we have this pathways from if you are a student in Utah, how can you become a company secretary, all right? Because this is very important. You already have a degree. In my case, I took ICSA qualification, professional qualification after doing my STPM, sorry. So there are ways to go and do your whole program. So you will start from the beginner module, all right? The beginner modules, and then you go from the introduction modules and so on. So if you already have Utah's qualification or any other degree, you can be back to the professional bodies. I'll also let you know later on about MACS, how you can go through to get your qualifications there, your professional qualifications. So if in most cases, our Utah degrees are valuable in the sense that you do the last 4 modules. The other modules are exempted. You only do the part 4 of the part 1 modules where there are serious papers about taxation law. And also you can also do the CSP and practice papers and so on. So you need to do the remaining 4 papers. And if you're doing bachelor's in accounting, you do the 2 papers and the 3 models of the 3 modules to pass in order for you to gain full certificate of MAICSA, right? So for on the other hand, with the MACS is similar, all right? You do the last 4 papers to pass, all right? If you have any of this following bachelor's degrees and so on. Right, you may also question later on, if I'm not going to be a company secretary, what can I do? All right, what else can I do if I'm not a company secretary? Like me, I've studied to become a company secretary. I can venture into this field, or maybe later on, I can do it at leisure after getting my license and so on, registering with the SSM, all right, upon retirement. But there are my friends who did this paper, they either did it full-time, and some of them are just servicing some companies. As far as Singapore, all right, you can become a company secretary there too. Or although the law are slightly different there, all right. And also, what can you do? Because this is a challenging career, no? It's not an easy career to be with. You have to maintain your membership. You have to also have professional development, CPD hours matched, all right, over the years. Okay, you need to keep abreast. We also have the code of ethics of company secretary to follow, all right? You cannot become charged for breach of trust, or also the bankruptcy thing and all that you have to watch, all right? So career path, what career path can we look into? Right, let me, all right, so what can become, okay, company secretaries. You can do freelancing, all right? Freelancing meaning that you work somewhere else and also handle some company matters as a company secretary for some companies, smaller companies, of course, yeah. Sundrian Berhad, you can become their signatories and also do their compliance work and so on in a smaller scale, all right? If you have gained some 10, 20 years, you know the company inside out. In some companies, they become senior company secretaries. In some places, they're also hired as MDs and also directors, all right? This is your career path. See, governance is the center of attention right now, all right? And then the government speaks openly about the need of good governance and against a backdrop of corporate failures, all right? So we are resting into a serious position. So talented company secretaries are exceptionally in high demand. Regulations and legislations are unlikely to reduce. They're only changing to become more tedious. You see more openness, more integrity, and so on. Okay, so an increasing awareness of their value and a shortage of supply has been salaries. Okay, those days when I finished my graduation, I think they were getting less than 1,000 as a trainee company secretary. Now it's like 2,000, 2,005. Even the secretaries, my friends, are getting about 10, 12Ks a month. All right, so there are advancements for it. Okay, and then also the industry that you're working as a company secretary in. All right, you can also jump, and then you understand the industry better. Okay. Diversity in the role of and portability of technical and commercial skills. These days, your writing skills becomes important. Okay, the use of savvy technology is also becoming more in demand and so on. Okay, so so companies are embracing the idea of finding a good secretary in order to become highly productive, and importance in the good legal advising about this company compliance matters and so on.
Contact us through WhatsApp, email, WeChat, and Facebook.